Hey guys, it's Anna. Welcome to my channel. Today I have basically a fragrance haul. I'm going to be reviewing big new exciting stuff here. Reviewing perfumes for you guys. I have a mix of some that I purchased, the majority of them I purchased, and then the first three that I'll talk about were sent to me in PR, and I'll let you know what I think of them, whether I love them, like them, or would pass on them. So the first one we have here is from Ledda, 21 Velvet Genache. This is for people who are true photorealistic gourmand lovers. This is decadent. It is rich, sweet. It straight up smells like chocolate frosting to me. I have never smelled a more realistic chocolate frosting perfume before. That is so front and center to me. It's like a dark, sweet, thick chocolate frosting. It even makes me think of those rum chocolate candies, because I do feel like this has a little bit of a boozy undertone, although not mentioned. I also definitely detect dark black cherry as well as raspberry, but the black cherry more so. So if you literally want to smell like dark chocolate truffles with black cherry raspberry filling and a heaping load of chocolate frosting, you're not gonna find a better perfume for that than this. I'm really not even getting the rest of the notes mentioned. Apart from some vanilla to aid in the sweetness, there's a pinch of orange that I detect and a really, really soft patchouli and amber just in the base, but like this is gourmand. Far too gourmand for my personal taste, so it's not for me. However, I think it's very well done. And for people who want to fully lean into that category, fully lean into chocolate, then it's something to get your nose on. Next is Commodity Iced. This one is a like for me. I know that this is getting mixed reviews, which is something I can understand because this note combination is quite unique. I've got to say I haven't smelled any other perfume that reminds me of this. It's got eucalyptus, mango, spearmint, ginger, then there's a little bit of warmth in the base from amber and tonka bean. Really different, which is something I appreciate. Like I would much rather have a brand go outside of the box and risk, not appealing to as many people, but give us finally something new. So I like it. I think it smells good. There's nothing in here that throws my nose off. However, I know that it's not a scent that I'm going to be craving or like pulling for and wearing all the time. So for that reason, like I don't love it. I don't feel like it's a need in my collection. I feel like you need to really gravitate towards spearmint and eucalyptus to love iced. And I know that not everybody does, which I enjoy both, but it's very hit or miss for me. It's highly dependent on what it's paired with. So you have a definite cooling green fresh factor coming in from those notes, and then you have that sweetness from a juicy mango. Iced has sweetness, but I feel as though the majority of mango dominant scents that I've smelled come off sweeter than this one because of the spearmint and the eucalyptus like cutting through that and really making this cool and refreshing. That experience really takes over, so you're not at all getting the typical vibe that you might get from mango, like tropical and warm and sunny. It really does come off like a mango covered in frost. Then it's got a bit of spiciness coming in, like fresh spiciness, so that's different from ginger, black pepper. Personally, I don't smell black pepper, but ginger, absolutely. And then I feel a bit of contrast going on here because it's primarily cooling, but then you have some warmth peeking through in the dry down from the amber and tonka bean. But in comparison to everything else going on here, those are soft. And I feel as though this has a bit of a watery element to it as well, as if there's literally an ice water accord like jam-packed full of ice and then with a ton of mint thrown in this glass. I think this is perfectly unisex. I can really see this on anyone, but I definitely urge, you know, if you are interested in this one, to try sample it before you buy. Head on over to Sephora, see if, you know, they have a tester you can try out and see if it clicks with you, works on your skin. This one, unfortunately, was quite challenging for me. New release from Giardini di Toscana, Oro in Miele. I love powdery perfumes. You may know this if you watch my videos. This is extremely densely powdery. So powdery, it just feels too much for me. Out of all the notes mentioned, this comes off like an almond blossom heliotrope bomb to me. You must love those notes to love this. I typically don't enjoy either, so there's that. The powdery character that it has makes me think of both pollen covered wildflowers and baby powder. The imagery that comes to mind with this one is a little cottage on a prairie that's just loaded with wildflowers, covered in pollen. A ways off, there's a tree with a beehive. There's honey inside. It's a warm, sunny day, and the baby from the cottage got loose. He's crawling his way out and he happened to knock over a container of baby powder, so he's all covered in it. I do appreciate that this isn't an uber sweet perfume because it's got the honey, the vanilla, the tonka bean, and seeing that combo and Giardini di Toscana, like, we're familiar with how this house will execute that combination, but this is not at all like Bianco latte, but more powdery and with florals. This does not read edible to me. The sweetness is there, but it has a soft nature to it. So I do like how the honey note doesn't come off heavy and sticky. Although if, you know, you're seeing this name, you might have a different idea in your head of what this perfume is going to give. So definitely it's something to test first. The coconut in here smells like coconut flakes to me. It's got a musky base, and wow, does this thing perform. I sprayed this like 2 times when I first got it in my kitchen, and it smelled like this for the rest of the day. Now moving on to the perfumes I purchased. Lolita Lempicka. For years, I've been wanting to smell this. If you watch my videos, you know I love an enchanting smelling perfume. And often when I talk about perfumes that give me that vibe, I would have people in my comment section mentioning Lolita Lempicka. And I know this perfume is iconic. It's been around since the 90s, I believe. I just hadn't gotten a chance to smell it. So I blind bought it. And I know it's gone through reformulations over the years. I have the Le Parfum 2023 version. I've seen mixed comments from people who own the original. Some say doesn't compare, others say this is pretty much the same, but I've got the 2023, so I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it. It's so cool. It really has this spunk and individuality, and upon smelling this for the first time, I immediately understood why people call this enchanting and whimsical. I see people all the time calling this a fairy perfume. It smells like a dark forest fairy, or even witchy. It's got this mystical edge, bit of darkness. I primarily get the licorice note coming through, like black licorice. It's earthy. I picture these dark woods, a little bit damp. There's some patchouli in the base here too. I feel like part of its enchanting vibe is due to the violet and iris, so it's powdery. I feel like violet in particular feels often fairy-like to me. And then it's spiced from anise, bumping up the licorice quality. Herbal, warm. This combination is so unique, and then it has sweetness from cherry and tonka bean. It's like some dark candies were thrown in the mix, but it's not too sweet because it really is earthy. It is heavier on the licorice than what I gravitate towards, but I have a lot of appreciation for this one. It won't be for everyone, but it's not meant to be. It has a lot of character, and I think it's really cool. I had no self-control and blind bought the new Mochi Banane from Nette. These notes spoke to me so loud I couldn't help myself. I just went, check out. Every single review I saw of this, glowing. And the notes, so the order was placed. This perfume was inspired by the founder's childhood growing up in Hawaii. Hawaii means a great deal to me, to both Eric and I. It was a goal of mine growing up to go to Hawaii. I never had been, and I told myself, like, after I graduated college, I wanted to treat myself and go to Hawaii. So after I graduated, that's what Eric and I did. We went to Kauai specifically. That's the only Hawaiian island I have been to, and it was a dream, like truly heaven on earth. And then a few years later, we went again, which was last year, where Eric proposed. So it's inspired by Hawaii. It's summertime. It's got banana, mochi, rice milk, hibiscus, vanilla, woody notes. So I was all about it. Unfortunately, I like it, but I don't love it. Let me get into the notes and break it all down. So firstly, this is the most accurate mochi scent that I have ever come across. In my experience, when it's listed, it never feels like it's giving mochi. Like the Dead Cool mochi milk, that doesn't smell like mochi to me. This one does. This is primarily, to me, a mochi rice milk musky scent. Very, very starchy, pillowy, powdery, delicately savory. They did a great job with capturing the textural quality of mochi here. Then there is a blue banana, which I was really excited about. So blue banana is more rare and is grown in Hawaii. And here it smells unripe and starchy to me, a little bit green. So it's super different from all other banana type perfumes I've smelled. If you are going for this hoping for a banana dominant scent, then I think you're going to be disappointed. It is quite soft and really is only noticeable to my nose in the opening, and then it fades into the background. I personally really like how the banana is done in here. The sweetness is soft, subdued, and I feel like the starchiness that it has is a really great pairing with the mochi and the rice milk. It reads kind of like a skin-like gourmand, not too gourmand. I do wish there was more banana here, like done in the same way, just amped up a bit because it's subtle. And the floral here is also much softer than I anticipated. It feels like more of a soft floral backing. The reason it's not a love for me is because the mochi and rice milk smell a little stale to my nose, and it does sit really close to the skin, which isn't a deal breaker for me, but just something I wanted to mention. I bought another House of Bō, brought another one into my collection, Espiritu, one of the original Bō scents. I tried Espiritu years ago and I liked it, but over the years, as I've revisited it, it's grown on me now to the point where it's a complete love, and I had to get a bottle. Initially, I felt like this was more masculine than what I gravitate towards, but I now feel this completely suits me and is unisex. This is a really special, soulful, spiritual perfume, particularly for the founder, Bernardo. This is a woody, aromatic, clean, earthy, musky scent. Espiritu is made in remembrance of Bernardo's father who passed away. It's meant to give you comfort, to feel like it's bottling memories, and the woody note in here is really special and unique because they developed the scent of a specific tree grown in Mexico. I believe it's called Maquilis, and this tree grew right outside of Bernardo's home. He grew up around these trees. Espiritu is a really tranquil, grounding, calming scent. If you are into spa-like profiles, this fits right in. These notes have depth to them, but it all comes across very clean smelling. So you have primarily this woodiness. There's burning sage. You get this clean incensey feel, like an earthy powderiness from iris. There's some carrot seed, tobacco, aged leather, and labdanum give it depth. And again, that makes it sound a lot darker than it comes across. It's very smooth. I feel like it has a soapy factor to it as well. It makes me think of a handcrafted woody tobacco sage bar of soap. Incense is burning. You're in a really peaceful, quiet home. You're surrounded by a lot of wood furniture, pieces with some history, like they're aged in the most beautiful way. There's a suede rug on the floor. There's an energy to this scent, and I'm glad I kept going back to it over the years to spend time with it, because I really do connect with it now. Next up, I bought Rayhaan Divine, and this is supposed to be a more affordable alternative to Louis Vuitton's Attrape Rev. It's been years since I've smelled that fragrance, so I can't give an accurate comparison, although upon smelling this, it did smell very familiar. And I know like a lot of people who own the two of them are like, this is a fantastic dupe. This is a like for me, just as Attrape Rev was, so I don't really know what I was doing blind buying this. I got carried away with the craze. It is a good perfume. I'm not like, I love it, I need it. It's just more patchouli heavy than what I'm looking for. This is certainly a perfumey perfume, and I don't have anything against that. I have perfumey perfumes. This is obviously very individual to me, but it does give me a bit of a headache. It really has oomph to it. It begins more fresh, like it begins with a blast of lychee, and the lychee does stick around, but to me at least, this is not your airy, delicate, watery lychee because of the oomph coming through from the rose, the peony, the patchouli. There's some spice from the ginger, some bright citrus bergamot. I can definitely see this being someone's signature scent. I see this working for a lot of different occasions. It is quite strong though, so depending on your work environment, it might not be the best choice for that, but that's a plus. Really affordable perfume, and you have great performance. I feel like if you're someone who gets along with a lot of designer fruity floral patchoulis, this is something you'd enjoy. It definitely has a big, confident, I am the moment energy to it. She wants that scent to enter the room. Before she does, she wants it to stay lingering as she leaves. Last but not least, Armaf Club de Nuit Maleka, if that's how you say it. Out of the two lychees, this one would be my preference. It really does have this super girly, feminine, princessy vibe to it. I think it also comes off perfumey, but not as much as Divine. This has got a fresher lychee, but I still wouldn't call this personally a fresh wearing perfume. It has a candied vibe and has this powdery, almost violet-like quality, even though it's orris that's mentioned. It just leans more violet-like to my nose. I don't feel like it's duping anything, but I have smelled perfumes, you know, in its family. For example, Lancôme La Vie est Belle L'Elixir. General vibe going on there. Candied, girly, powdery fruit. That one is raspberry though, and I do find L'Elixir to be sweeter. I really like this one. I don't feel like I need it because I already, you know, have this vibe in my collection, but this is a solid release. It's really pretty. It's got some brightness from the bergamot, some fresh spicy pink pepper, a little praline, musky in the base. If you like smelling whimsical, super feminine, you enjoy, you know, like powdered candy, fruity notes, then I think this is something to check out. I did want to do a giveaway. So for one person, if anyone would be interested in the Ledda 21 Velvet Genache, let me know. And then another winner, I will bundle the lychees together. So let me know if you'd be into these. US giveaway, make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and I will announce the two winners as the pinned comment underneath this video in a week. Please make sure your notifications are on, so if you do win, you'll see it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you want to see me in any more videos, I'd appreciate it so much. I hope you guys are having a great day and I hope to see you in my next video.